AfterBuzz TV fans? I'm here with the crew from Drawfee. We're talking to Jacob, Nathan, and Julia today. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Yes, also that.
Yeah, I'm super pumped to be here, so thanks for having us.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to us today. So, for those who might not know, tell us a little bit about your guys' YouTube channel.
I'll take the talking stick. So we're a drawing comedy YouTube channel where we take audience suggestions and turn them into worst drawings. And that's about the basis of it. It's a lot of us talking and drawing, and there you go. That's the deal.
Yeah, think of it like a podcast with a visual component. It's improvised. We do a lot of nerd culture, pop culture stuff where we make fun of how little we know about that stuff.
Yeah, to Nathan's effect, we know very little about literally anything. So our goal on the show is to just have fun, and we feel like if we're having fun, the audience is having fun, and that's kind of our aim, is to just have a nice, good time that people can kind of take a break and just have a laugh for however long the episode is.
So, how did you all come together as artistic collaborators? I'm going to start with you this time, and we'll all.
All right.
I get to be in the middle every time.
Oh, unless you want to like musical chairs it halfway
you
through.
can take it next, absolutely.
Confuse the camera.
And who's ever got the mic when the music stops, I'm sorry, but you're out.
You've been ejected from the interview. Yes, so a while ago, I actually started at Dorkly 8 years ago, which is a company that is owned by College Humor. And the head illustrator at the time, Caldwell Tanner, who started Drawfee, hired me on to work for Dorkly as the head illustrator. And then he hired Nathan very shortly after, and also hired Jacob, and hired Nathan and Jacob to work on College Humor. And then, you know, we hang out quite a lot, and we're all very good friends. So when Nathan and Caldwell started this awesome channel of just like fun artists, we all kind of clamored to get in a little bit. We all really wanted in on it. And it worked out because they also wanted us on the show. So, you know, we've been sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, Julia basically summed it up. That's what happened. That was a complete fabrication. No, Caldwell. Yeah, Caldwell had been head illustrator for College Humor for a while. We started this show together back in 2014. And shortly thereafter we got Jacob and Julia on episodes, and I think we really found our voice at that point, and it's been great ever since.
It's also worth mentioning that Caldwell's not here. We keep saying his name. He started the show and then left to work for Disney. And so he's still on episodes on our channel, but doesn't always get to come out to all the events and stuff. He's like a special.
He's a special.
He's like the special Drawfee daddy.
Yeah.
That sometimes comes home but is often out on business.
So you guys all came together to work on this YouTube channel. How would you each describe your individual styles?
Oh, Nathan first.
Oh boy. My style is an amalgamation of stuff that I've seen and subconsciously taken in. I'd say it's a mixture of Caldwell style, a little bit of Penny Arcade in there, maybe some Adventure Time. It morphs and changes depending on the subject matter, I think. And I also, for some reason, end up drawing a lot of dogs on the show.
It's true.
His style is dog.
My style is oftentimes a dog. Which way am I going?
You
I'll
pick.
go.
I see.
You had the power.
Yeah.
I see. I've been chosen.
He chose me.
Yeah.
My style comes from a webcomics background, so because I got my job at College Humor through doing webcomics until Caldwell, we kind of became friends. So it's a lot of like legibility and like cleanliness and roundness and cuteness tends to be what I lean towards. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
Yeah. So Jacob says his is roundness and cuteness, and Nathan's is dogs and pleasant things. I am nightmare dogs.
So you're like the anti-Nathan.
I'm the anti everyone on the show. I got brought in as the nightmare person that I've now earned the name Monster Mom. because I tend to draw just a lot of just the grossest things. I started as an illustrator, and I always wanted to be like a book illustrator or a poster designer kind of thing. And so when I, started on the channel, that was the basis that I had. So it's a lot of strong compositions with a lot of dramatic lighting and just the worst things to look at. That's my style.
But also handsome man faces.
Oh, yes. I also draw a lot of beautiful men. So, there's no in between. You're either getting a beautiful man or you're getting just the worst creature.
As a big horror fan and as a big anime fan, those are two things I can get behind, for sure. So you guys mentioned that you take fan suggestions for the show. What's been the most outrageous suggestion you guys have ever gotten?
Going here again. I can't think of the most outrageous suggestion, but after doing this for so many years, you kind of have a thing that you can kind of guess what people are going to ask for. It's either, whatever anime is popular at the time. Like right now we're getting a lot of My Hero requests. We're getting a lot of Cats. We're getting this and that. So it's all very gentle suggestions. And then one time we did Mocha in New York City last year, or earlier this year. And a man walked up to me and with a deadpan face just said, "Hey, can you draw back neck?" What? And I was like, "What does that mean?" And he goes, the back of the neck, just draw that. And I was like, I guess, all right, power to the audience, gotta do it. And I drew it, and I was like, is this what you're looking for? So I had to draw like the back of the neck, and I drew like the top of the shoulders. And he was like, yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. And then I got an email literally 3 days later that said, "Hey Julia, I was the guy that requested back neck, but I lost the drawing. Can you redraw it for me and email it to me?" So back neck guy, if you were watching, I cannot redraw it for you. It's never gonna happen again. That is out.
Everybody gets one.
Everyone gets one back neck. So that's the weirdest one for me personally.
I don't have a better one. I don't have a better one than that.
I've got an adjacent one. This one was also at Mocha, and it was a me and Nathan team up. Julia was gone from the table at the time,
yes.
But this older woman came to our table,
okay, yeah.
and didn't know the show or us or anything, but she just walked straight up and making intense eye contact was like, "Draw me a really beautiful woman." And we're like, okay, any particular kind. She's like a pinup model, like a beautiful woman. Just draw me the most beautiful woman. And so we're like, all right. And I was like, Nathan, you want to tag team it? So I'm drawing and joking at the same time, trying to make it lighthearted. But she's has a very aggressive presence. And so I'm drawing this one. I'm like, well, I should probably put a bikini on her. We don't want to have a naked woman. And she's like, she can be naked if you want her to be. And so me and Nathan are just staring straight down at the drawing, not looking at each other or up, just trying to get it done as fast as we can.
We're not in the business of kink shaming anyone, but we are human beings. So it's I have a lighter one. It's not the craziest thing, but it sort of fell outside the norm of suggestions we get online. Oftentimes, like Julia said, we get a lot of suggestions for popular anime or video games, but one person kept suggesting draw robots built by cavemen. And it became this whole movement among our fans to just keep asking us for robots built by cavemen, to the point that multiple people would be commenting it on every video. And eventually we just did it. It's this isn't going to get as many views as our pop culture ones, but we want to make sure that the fans feel heard. And I thought that was just a fun thing that happened just organically, that the fans all sort of got on board on this really weird sort of out of left field suggestion, and then we ended up drawing it and having a really good time, which is, I think, part of what makes Drawfee so fun, is getting unexpected suggestions that we wouldn't have thought of in a million years, and then having to see what we come up with.
Yeah.
Okay, final question. Given you guys have a close relationship with your fans, and I'm sure you guys get this all the time, but do you have any advice for any aspiring artists out there who watch you guys, who maybe feel inspired by the work that you do? And whose turn is it? I think it's your turn?
Me?
Was it your turn?
Go for it.
My advice to artists, like whenever I'm asked this question, is always like the same, and it's always kind of not fun advice because there's only one like real answer, which is you just have to start doing a thing, and like that's the main step, is start doing a thing. You can't just think about it, you have to actually start doing it, and that's like the hardest hurdle to get over sometimes. And then the key part is keep doing it and don't ever stop. And eventually you will get good at something, or you will find your niche, or you will find some way to fit in or slot in, even if it's not how you expected. Like, I never expected to be doing a show like this. I just wanted to do comics for a living. And things have kind of twisted and morphed since then, just from, you know, keeping on, and then eventually you kind of find a spot for yourself. So it's persistence is really like the main key. Anyone can be good if they just keep doing it.
Yeah, I think just going off of that, a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm so bad at art. You guys are so talented," and it's like, don't be afraid of your mistakes. And I think that's something that we try and incorporate into episodes. Is we make a lot of mistakes because we're just drawing and recording whatever we make, and we just sort of have to roll with it. And yeah, like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for the thing you draw to not look exactly the way you wanted it to the first time. Still finish it so you feel how it feels to finish something, and then try again. None of us were great when we started, and I still feel like I have a lot to learn. So
we're still not great.
We're still not great.
Working on it constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, going off of what the boys said, I feel like an easy trap that people fall into is that they're always like, you know, especially creatives are always saying like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not good, or you know, where I should be, or whatever. And you're following this weird timeline of people on the internet, but, you know, people on the internet are cherry picking their best pieces and the ones that they spend, you know, a bajillion hours on, and they're like, oh, this is a sketch. But it's because they feel insecure about it. It's not actually a sketch. You spent like 25 hours on that guy. Don't lie to us. So it's, you know, people look at those and go like, oh, that's their sketches. Like, my sketches are total garbage. Their sketches are total garbage. Everyone's sketches are total garbage. You have to keep in mind that, you know, the only way you're going to improve is to keep doing the thing. And I feel like as long as you're having fun and you're enjoying art and you're trying to push yourself in the slightest, you are already leaps and bounds above all the other people who say they want to do the thing but don't actually do it. So just, you know, do it, basically.
Got one more to add.
Talking stick.
Just one more. Also be nice.
Yeah.
That's just good advice, art or otherwise. Just be nice to people.
Good advice.
Yeah. You're not helping. You're not doing yourself any favors by being mean or alienating people. So just try and be nice, even if you're not feeling nice. Try and be extra nice.
Give me the talking stick,
I'm
Nathan.
handing it to you. Case in point.
I'm lovely. I'm nice all the time.
We have fun. I like each other a lot.
But yeah, to Nathan's effect, like, being mean to someone has never earned anyone anything. Being nice to people gets you, you know, a great group of friends that you start an amazing thing with, and that it brings you to, you know, amazing places, and that you know, just have a blast at. So, you know, and again, to what Nathan was saying is that we make mistakes all the time. We leave that into the show, and that's why we apologize every time. But yeah, you know, be nice, have fun, and keep doing what you're doing.
Be excellent to each other.
Yes.
I like that. Well, again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with us today. Been an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys have a wonderful RTX. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.